This is Gabriel Lynch with a bit about
getting into shape.
After mentioning this on my first episode of A Bit About, how to get really fat, how to lose weight, and also posting a few things on my Instagram and Facebook over the last couple of weeks, a few of you reached out to me and wanted to find out more about how I lost weight.
But first,
here's a very quick overview of how I got fat in the first place. I was never really healthy, but then I started getting bigger. My diet was a mess. Drank a shitload of alcohol. I didn't exercise. I didn't care about fitness. I didn't think I had time. I guess I was also a bit depressed. I didn't realize it at the time, but that was part of it. It got out of control.
how bad was it? Holy shit!
The thing is, when you gradually gain weight, you don't really notice it, and the power of denial is really incredible.
Oh, had enough, eh?
Look, you stupid bastard, you've got no arms left.
Yes, I have.
Look!
It's just a flesh wound.
I remember sometime back in 2013, I went for a medical checkup and my weight was around 69 kilograms. A year or so later, when I checked again, I was 79. I remember thinking I could have sworn it was 69, but I might just be imagining things. A year later, 89. I look the same though, don't I? I must just have a bad memory. The number definitely ended with a 9. That's what it's always been, I guess. 89. And finally, 90. Oh, okay, nah, I'm definitely fat. I know it might sound crazy, but that's how long it actually took me to realize I might have an issue. And don't forget, I live in Southeast Asia. As many of you know, people in this part of the world are not shy about discussing your weight. So I did have people around me telling me long before the reality set in.
All right, listen up, everybody. I have something to tell you. I'm not quite sure how to say this. I'm fat. Let me give you a minute to absorb that.
It was time to lose weight. I did a bit of my own research and I found out the basics about nutrition, calories in versus calories out, and I started getting on a treadmill almost every day. I managed to shed quite a bit of my belly this way. But a little later on, I found out about this man, Michael Matthews. This man is my own personal fitness Jesus. I found reading his books and articles and listening to his podcast gave me a really thorough breakdown of everything I needed to know about getting into shape and the science behind it. Courtesy of Mr. Matthews, I basically ended up focusing on 2 things: strength training, in particular, compound lifts and lifting heavy, and being very diligent about my diet and eating a buttload of protein. That might sound like a gross oversimplification, but those 2 things have been the cornerstone of my progress. I strength train 4 times a week for a little over an hour at a time, and I cook about 90% of the meals that I eat. I'm not a great cook, but I make it work. Following the guidance of my muscly savior, I'm almost at my goal body fat percentage. Soon enough, I'll flip my calorie intake, start consuming more so I can bulk, and eventually I'll be super swole and my videos will look more like this. Doing these things required dedication. For me, this meant dealing with a lot of my vices. Alcohol in particular, but I'm going to talk about that in another episode. And I might not be the biggest junk food nut on the planet, but cutting out nasty sugars was probably even harder.
Hey, buddy, want to get a cupcake?
No, I don't.
Come on!
No.
Hey, buddy, how about some chocolate?
No.
Come on, it'll be good. I'll give you a dopamine hit.
I don't want a dopamine hit. Go away.
Hey, buddy, there's a bar over there. Let's go and
Look, go away. I don't want any beer. I don't want any chocolate. I don't want any cupcakes. Fuck off. Leave me alone.
You didn't have to be a fucking asshole about it.
Overcoming those urges and winning a battle of wits with my own body and mind was an incredible victory. Another obstacle on my way to a healthier me has been the people around me. The people who like to drink, and those same people that were telling me that I looked fat before, now telling me that I look too skinny and trying to force feed me. I think part of the issue is that people are so used to me being a little bit chubby, this kind of freaks them out a little bit. It's so frustrating though. I decided to write my next single about it.
You only think I'm too skinny 'cause I used to be fat, but now I'm a calorie counting man, and there's nothing wrong with that. Hey, 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 stop trying to feed me Asian people, and white people stop trying to give me beer. is out of the equation, people. Please try to understand. I'm a calorie counting man.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
Okay, Calorie Counting Man isn't a real single, but my song Tripping Wire is, and it would mean the world to me if you'd go and check it out on Spotify after you're done with this video.
We now return to the Transformers.
For anyone who's ever tried to start forming new habits and fallen short, don't beat yourself up.
What can I do anything right?
I stopped and started many times before it finally stuck for me. That wasn't just for getting into shape, that was the same for quitting smoking and binge drinking as well. If you want more information on anything I've talked about, there'll be some useful links in the video description below. How about you? Have you ever been on a diet? Or is fitness about the last thing on your list of priorities? Let's have a chat about it in the comments. Oh, and if you didn't hate this video, please subscribe to my channel for more videos that you also might not hate. This has been Gabriel Lynch with A Bit About, and you know where to find me if you'd like to hear a little bit more.